What is your K-pop confession? I noticed the last confession thread we had here was more than a year ago, so I thought it was nice to do a new one. Please do not make it into an unpopular opinion thread. Naturally the line between the two can be blurry sometimes, but stick to what affects you personally. For me, a while ago I was at the supermarket and heard a song that strongly reminded me of a song by a group I really liked. I managed to Shazam it, and yes, on repeated listens I still can't shake the feeling there are some notes that are too similar, even though the two songs overall are really different. The song I heard randomly came out years before the song from the group I like. But obviously because I love the group and don't want to cause any unnecessary troubles for them, I'll never point it out explicitly. I finally started working out after I saw how hot all the members of SHINee are a year ago. The best post. Sometime last year, my roommates tested my EXO knowledge by showing me close-up pictures of EXO's earlobes to see if I could differentiate them. I got 9/9 and couldn't sleep that night due to a minor existential crisis. I once did a test where I had to guess 17 members by their lips. I think I got like 11 or 12 of them. Let's just say that I was not very pleased with myself and my life choices after that. I get annoyed at people who place so much importance on whether a group has strong visuals, but the truth of the matter is that my early interest in K-pop was about 100% fueled by Big Bang Top's face, and I don't know if I would have ever gotten into K-pop if it weren't for his ridiculous handsomeness. I feel you about Top's face. Honestly, same. That fantastic baby MV. I will say a portion of it was his voice too though. Was it the rapping in the picture frame? That's what got me. Yes. And the boom shakalaka hook. It was the fantastic baby MV for me as well. Who could resist him with that hair? And his deep voice definitely helped, but was certainly not the main reason I kept replaying his sections. The side effect of getting his rap stuck in my head played the bigger part in getting me to check them, and K-pop more generally, out further. But honestly I probably wouldn't have gotten to that point if it weren't for those high cheekbones. I saw twice Zuyu's face one time and I was like, who's this? I have to know. I did research into her group, listened to Twice's title tracks, and fell in love with K-pop in general. I had only known a girl's generation before that, and only their hits like G and Genie, nothing about the people. Interestingly, my bias in Twice didn't even become Zuyu. I found Taehyun too charming smile. I like buying albums even though I know I won't look at the photo book again and the album itself is basically waste of space. Same. I buy them for collection's sake and maybe next time in the future when I can afford a nice display case I'll put them out nicely smile. I wish I had friends that were into K-pop the same way I am. Frown. I've been listening since 2012, and I still don't have a single friend that I can just unabashedly message about a new song, or show them a photo/video and have them genuinely be excited too? I'm shy so I don't necessarily branch out, but I feel like every time I try people just ignore me. Also I snuck a special brownie into KCON the other week and it elevated my experience so much lol. Except I had to sit at a rest stop for an hour once I realized I couldn't drive home quite yet. I think the worst is finding a friend who's into K-pop but then realizing they're far from being as obsessed as you, then it gets slightly awkward. I watch variety shows almost exclusively. I maybe watched 2 hours of English television shows a week, and maybe one movie. The rest of the time, whether I'm doing work, playing games, or just lazing around, I have some Korean variety show, often with idol guest/cast playing. I've watched the first 300+ episodes of Running Man several times each. I've watched a lot of idol-centric shows, SNSD especially, several times each as well, Intimate Note, Horror Movie Factory, SGB, Bouquet, Invincible Youth, Showtime, etc. A lot of SNSD because they tend to be among the most entertaining ones. Basically, I spend more time watching Korean variety than would probably be considered healthy. I honestly don't know how I'm not fluent in Korean at this point. Maybe because I'm too reliant on subs. Tongue. Way back in the day, I tried to get a friend to listen to K-pop by telling them Kangta was my cousin. I successfully got her to listen to one SM Town Summer album before I fessed up and probably ruined K-pop for her forever. Kangta, if you're out there reading this, I'm definitely 100% sorry for the fan fiction I wrote where my OC, aka me, was your cousin, and that's how I managed to date my black B-tippers. But if you ever need to adopt a new cousin, I'd still be totally down to fill that position. I tried to get a friend to listen to K-pop by telling them Kangta was my cousin. This is my favorite confession in this whole thread. I'm a straight male that you exclusively listens and fanboys to boy groups. See, I'm a straight male who jams out to A-Pink in the car along with other girl group songs, so I'd which one is worse tbh, cause if you meet someone from the outside world and they hear a boy group song, it will seem okay, but with a girl group doing no 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 and Mr. Chu pretty humiliating. The time on Twitter I always say that I'm too busy with school or work and that's why I won't stream or vote. In reality, I just don't want to. I'm lazy and I don't feel like following a 10-page long PowerPoint on how to stream on YouTube with a method that may or may not work. Honestly, I think this whole streaming songs on purpose to make a certain song big thing needs to die. I'd rather see how much legit interest the song has than which fandoms have managed to fake their views better. I have listened to US music in so long, K-pop has just absorbed it all. I don't recognize most names unless it's the biggest names around since before 2014. The only Western music that came out this year that I know is Ariana's NTLTC, Nicki's Chun-Li, and Dua Lipa's One Kiss, and that's because I hear them everywhere. I've been so far up K-pop's ass I've missed new releases from my favorite Western bands, and I don't really feel bad about it. My safe word during, bedroom activities, has been Cookie for many years, so when a certain group then debuted, it ruined more, unusual fun for me for years. Now that's a confession. I have trouble watching girl group videos because they make me incredibly insecure about my weight/body. It sucks because there's so many GGS whose music I like but I can't get into them because of this frown. I got into K-pop as a result of Leisha. Yeah, that's right, Leisha. We all know why. If people hate an idol for irrational or petty reasons, can they just say so and be upfront about it rather than this new trend of hiding all your pettiness and dislike behind a veneer of wokeness? I've seen so many people waiting to pounce on any minor infraction an idol does to create a 70-tweet-long Twitter thread of why they're problematic scum and how you knew all along and how anyone who still likes them is practically a Nazi. Confessions? I sometimes resent all the newcomers. It feels a little like they're getting all the good stuff but none of the hard times. There's subs aplenty for even smallish groups. Everything is just out there on YouTube or whatever. Remember when you had to download a hard sub video to get any subs at all? Remember the fucking mega video 72-minute limit? Remember having to comb through terribly sorted live journal communities to find what you were looking for? And then my shitty slow-ass internet had to be on during the night so the video could finish downloading lol./rant. At the same time I kinda wish I were 16 again so I could experience this wave of K-pop acceptance and let my freak flag fly without being judged as heavily as I was big then. Never forget only finding parts 2/7 and 5/7 of a choppy video only subbed in Vietnamese and being desperate enough to watch it anyway. At the same time I kinda wish I were 16 again so I could experience this wave of K-pop acceptance and let my freak flag fly without being judged as heavily as I was big then. I really don't want to be 16 again, but I do wish K-pop was as accepted as it is now. Back then it was weird that you paid attention to an Asian country, let alone its music. And nowadays I feel like a weirdo because for a K-pop fan, I'm kinda old. I'm 24 and I don't feel old at all, but there's still people out there who think you should drop K-pop the second you hit your 20s. Friends ask me why I got the piercings I did, and I tell them no reason. I thought they were cool, but in reality I'm matching my two alts from two groups on either ear. This is so relatable. My ears are based off Tao's. I avoid standing really new girl groups because I don't want to be heartbroken when they inevitably disband. I've always felt a little guilty that I only discovered Ladies Code and SHINee after their tragedies. Granted, they've both become some of my all-time favorite groups, but a part of me wishes I had heard of them sooner. I did actually get heavily attacked on YouTube for this, but I don't like fan chants. I didn't pay a ton of money to go to a concert and hear fan chants cover up the singing. Screaming cannot be helped, I did my fair share of it, but the fan chants just don't do it for me. I'm actively rooting against NCT's success. The members seem charming and funny and I totally understand why people are fans of them. But I don't want SM to only debut future boy bands under NCT. I don't like the infinite and rotating member idea. I hate the idea of SM's success convincing more of the industry to adopt the model and be more like AKB48. I mean, I like a lot of members of AKB48 on Produce 48. But I don't want that system to spread to K-pop. I feel bad for the members. But SM's innovations to K-pop from the idol system to subunits changes the industry. So I gotta hope this experiment fails. I wrote about it elsewhere. I think the concept of NCT represents SM's hubris. The idea of a rotational group supposedly have been around for a while, Super Junior 2005, and I think it's a direct result of the idols becoming too big for SM's liking. They basically want a group that can lose members and it won't have any effect, and be able to always be one step ahead of the idols. If they make trouble, they'll simply be kicked out unofficially by not being put in any new units. Sounds like a dream for SM, no? The idol can't even sue them for a breach of contract because he's still technically in the group. I always felt like SM won't allow themselves to be fully associated with just one group, as in they want their own brand to be bigger than any individual group they've created. That's NCT for you. They want you to trust the brand name so much that you will buy into any concept and embrace any member. Will this work? I don't know. SM are good with knowing what fans want before fans know it, but maybe their pride in the SM brand is blinding them here. Having sex with shiny music on is the absolute bomb. Highly recommended. Smiley face, which song? I'm thinking of Lucifer or Ring Ding Dong cause that's my ultimate bop. I just imagine what'd be happening during Ring Ding Dong and started laughing. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. And remember to subscribe.